I am the crypto bull god, and this is the crypto bull market. Welcome in to all in the charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, click the bell icon for notifications to know when I go live. Guys, I made a very big mistake. Hope everyone's having a nice day. I made a very big mistake. I don't drink diet soda very often whatsoever. Purchased some diet soda. I thought it was sweetened with sucralose, but it's sweetened with aspartame. Not a fan of aspartame. Not a lot of good clinical studies out there on aspartame. Not something I really want to digest. I hope everyone, like I said, is having a good day. There's some green in the market, which we're going to get to in a moment here. By the way, you can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on YouTube, TradingView, and even Instagram. One word, it is Crypto Bull God. You know what I was experimenting with? I was experimenting with the idea of putting out some CBG paraphernalia, some CBG merch. I was thinking about that. I was like, what could I put out? Crypto Bull God merchandise. What could I put out there? I was thinking about that the other day. So maybe something down the road that I'm going to explore. But really excited to kind of talk about the markets today because we're getting the price action right now that we really want to see. Looking across the board here, things are even up more than I had been looking up earlier. So let's take an unemotional view at the market and kind of assess what's going on. Now, like I said, I'm expecting these last 2 weeks to finish up strong for crypto. I've been saying that consistently since the start of June. I'm expecting big things for the month of June. Some long wicks on those monthly candles. This is the first day that's really lending credence to that notion. Now, this is only 1 day's worth of price action. Like I said, let's not jump the gun here. Let's not get overly hyped or emotional based on 1 day of upside and Bitcoin's up 5%, right? If I am correct in what I foresee happening in the next several weeks for Bitcoin and the rest of the market, there will be many more bigger green days ahead. So this is sort of just 1 day. Just take it 1 day at a time here and let's kind of assess what's going on. Now, as we've spoken about before, wow, it is another day in South Florida where it has been sunny out today and hot. Now we got some serious storms going on, so hopefully the connection stays with us. If you appreciate the fact that I'm live with you today, make sure to drop the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Click off the comments on the chat. You can actually see the thumbs up if you're not seeing it. That's how you can see it. I'd really appreciate it. Yesterday, I spoke to 2 key price levels that we wanted to watch for, right? I try to keep things really simple on this channel. I spoke to 27,800 and was it 27,500? Was it 27,800? Maybe it was 27,500. I forget at this point. There were 2 key levels, but really the big one here is 28,500. I think it was. No, it was 27,500 because it was the 12-hour 200 SMA. We'll get to that in a moment. So it was 27,800 and 28,500. Okay. Right now we have pierced above 27,800. Now we need confirmation to come in. We want to get a candle close on this daily and stay above 27,800. That'll also coincide if we flip to the 12-hour on this 12-hour candlestick. Ultimately, what we want to see is this 12-hour candlestick stay above the 200. 200 is actually at 27,600. So, guys, we're going to close the daily candlestick and respective 12-hour candlestick in 2 hours and 49 minutes. Okay, 2 hours and 49 minutes. So long as this candlestick closes at or above 27,600, ding, ding, ding. This is very good. These are the things you need to watch for, guys. Things don't just go straight up or straight down, okay? During times of consolidation like this, it is so critical to remain level-headed, assess the charts, and like I always say to you, unless if something fundamentally, something structurally is changing in the chart, we get volatility, we get periods of consolidation. You can't get emotional in this market or you will get your ass handed to you. Now, the other thing that's important to point out on the daily, and this is very important on the daily, this is very bullish. We are getting this daily candlestick closing above, with volume, mind you. There's a decent amount of volume down here. We're getting it closing above the 50 simple moving average, which is very good to see. If we churn on a few more moving averages, ideally what you want to see in the most bullish of scenarios, and the most bullish of markets, This is what you want to see right here, okay? Essentially this price movement right here. So what's going on there? You have, okay, the blue line is the 10 simple moving average. The yellow line is the 20 simple moving average. The purple is the 50 and the pink is the 200. You have the 10 above the 20, above the 50, above the 200. That's what you want to see in them all trending up, right? So what we can see now is this 20 and 10 wants to curl up. So long as we still close strong, we close somewhere around, let's say, $28,000. These moving averages, now that we get a candle close here today, these moving averages are going to print a new data point right here, and they should be getting a lot closer to the 50 to curl up, which is very, very good for price. The other thing, real quick, I wanted to take a look at on the daily with you super quick. Something new I was actually taking a look at I thought I would share with you. I only want you to focus on the ADX DI. Don't focus on the MACD or the RSI. Just focus on this ADX, okay, and DI. Now, we have spoken to the ADX and DI plenty of times on this channel, okay? But we focused on the weekly. But the same premise applies. If the green is above the red and the larger the gap is, okay, the larger the gap is where the green is above the red, and this 0 is this 20, excuse me, is the trigger line. As the green continues to go up here and the red continues to go up here, this delta or this gap, this difference, the larger that mouth is, the more bullish it is for price action. If we go back in time, you can see when we got, look at this, right here, okay? Whoop. Okay, well, actually, that's helpful. Maybe you can hear the thunder in the microphone. You can see that when we got this huge cross, look at this. Look at the delta here. Look at the difference between the green and the red. Look how big the mouth is, and the green is above the red. Look at this monumental rise in price that we got, right? We jumped up from 16,000 all the way up to 24,000. We made a 50% move, right? If we get something similar, it wouldn't shock me if we get the DX and the ADI to get some sort of similar 50% move up. You know, a 50% move up, as crazy as that might sound, we're sitting at 28,000. That's a $14,000 move. And if you do not think that in the handful of a couple weeks, Bitcoin can move from 28,000 up to 42,000, you have not been here long, okay? Again, I'm not telling you that's what's going to happen, but if you don't, what I'm trying to tell you is it's possible. It's a very real possibility, okay? And if we are going to see new all-time highs this year, we do need to start seeing some significant rises to the upside. Now, these significant rises to the upside, okay, these significant rises to the upside are not going to look like this, okay? It's not going to look like that. We'll have something more like this, okay? And a continuation of basically stair steps up. We want to continue to see those higher highs and higher lows, but a 50% move up in a couple weeks would not shock me one bit, especially given where we're at in the cycle or the wave movement. Now, let's go to the 12-hour chart. God damn it. There we go. Okay, the thing I want to focus on here, first off, this is not on the 12-hour, else that would be drawn correctly. Let's get off the ADX and DI, even though the ADX and DI on that chart looks very good. The first thing I'd like to point out on the price indicators, let's just focus on, I don't have the stochastic RSI, which is fine. What's up, Rashid? Josh, welcome in. Let's fucking go. We don't say let's go on this channel. We say let's fucking go. I keep things real on the channel, as you know, all right? Nothing wrong with a little cursing to express yourself, right? I'm emotional. I am very, I'm a very emotional guy. All right, so the first thing I would point out here is, look, this triangular formation here, the same, very similar things that we point out in price data, okay? We can also point those things out on price indicators. I've kind of spoken to this in the past, right? So we've had this curling action on the RSI. We've been coiled up here, and look, we're starting to poke our head above. The other thing on the 12-hour, we've gotten this monumental cross up on the MACD. What's up, Nick? Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, everybody. Drop me a let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. All right? We've been in, we've had a lot of people. Damn it, it's nice to have a green day. You know, you get all these emotional people. Oh, the world's ending. Oh, the world's ending. About time to see the market pick up, all right? I want to see a little bit more enthusiasm from people. I'm seeing too much saltiness. I do not like saltiness, all right? So very good price indicators that we just took a look at there on the MACD and the RSI. But the thing that I want to focus on is price action. Price action, as you know, for everyone tuning in, price action is king. Let's fucking go. Price action is king. And as you can see here, let's take off the 10 and 20. It's too distracting. As you can see, what is going on, okay? What is happening? What I like to do with you guys so that it's not just about me telling you about what's going on in a chart. It's me. It is me translating things so that it comes across in an educational fashion. The point of this channel really is to be informative and also educational in manner. If you're tuning into this chart on a daily basis, and as a result, you're beginning to know a lot of the things you should look for and what they mean, and they stick out to you, ding, 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 I'm doing my job. Some of these things should start to stick out to you. So, yes, it's very good we're having a green day here, but what else is going on in this chart? What sticks out to you, okay? Well, first off, we've broken downward resistance here. We've broken this descending resistance. Secondly, we have a green Jesus candle that is printing above the 200 SMA. What's that going to cause the moving averages to do? Well, first off, because price action has made a sharp V-shaped recovery like this, what's going to happen is it's going to enable the 200 to continue churning up. The 200, you shouldn't see a lot of flattening out of the 200 or beginning to curl down. It's going to enable that 200 to continue a trajectory up. The other very important thing, and this goes back to conversations we had weeks ago when I was speaking to this price action. What did I tell you guys? I said, look, we have a death cross, right? That's not good. What we don't want to see is we don't want to see this, right? Lower lows and lower highs. So long as price action stays, it still is like a magnet and it's gravitated towards this 200. I'm not concerned about it. We get a little fake out death cross. Not concerned about it one bit. So what this is enabling us to do is it's enabling us to, as we calculate this 50 simple moving average, as this gets recalculated with each and every successive candle that prints, now that we're getting higher price action, the moving average, by way of it just being an average of the past 50 candlesticks, that average is going to increase in value. So this moving average is going to want to curl up and cross above the 200. Ding, ding, ding. That is very bullish. Very good price action to see on the 200 or on the 12-hour. Now, let's go to, we don't need to go to the weekly just yet. Well, we can, I guess. We're breaking out of this falling wedge. So long as it's sustained, wouldn't shock me to just continue going up. Wouldn't shock me to close above here and then the next week to back test in this area and then continue moving up. We'll just have to remain patient. We have a lot of days still to complete this week. We're only 3 days in after the close today. We still got 4 more days. 4 more days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 5 more days. I can count. That's what they pay me for. Now, we haven't looked at this chart in a while. I wanted to come back to this chart. This is a 3-day chart on Bitcoin. And when I don't know if anyone remembers us having a conversation about this, but as you will recall, I had a video last week where I covered several charts that are caution flags, right? They don't spit in the face of having a new all-time high this year, but they do raise cause for concern or to raise an eyebrow suspicion, right? And what did I say, was the number one chart that concerned me? Does anyone remember? Drop me a comment before I say it. What was the number one chart when we looked at it? I said, this causes me to say if there was any one chart I would look at, this is leading me to conclude that, maybe we don't top this year. Maybe Bitcoin's all-time high bleeds into early 2024. Maybe I'm off by like 3, 4, 5 months, right? Does anyone remember? What was that chart? It was the Bitcoin 3-day chart. I'll be curious to see if anyone posted that in the comments. There's a lag. Now, this chart is one we have not looked at in many, many weeks. And what I was hypothesizing is if we got a golden cross, okay, if things just panned out really bullish, this is the general shape of the 50 and the general shape of the 200 we'd want to see. As you can see, the 50 has followed suit pretty well with what I have drawn, but look at the 200. I don't like what I'm seeing on the 200. If we move this out of the way, you can see the 200 is starting to curl down. we need to see soon, in my opinion, for this chart to turn. It's not my opinion, it's a fact. It's factual knowledge, factual information. We need to see significant rises to the upside to get this 200 to start to flatten pretty quickly and curl up. We do not want this to continue to curl down, okay? I think something that's more realistic based on what I'm seeing here, now that we have updated price data, I think what you could see something like this. 50 is following pretty close to what I said, actually. Very interesting. I think you could get something like that. We could still see, and this is very big for the chart of Bitcoin historically, we could see a golden cross on the 3-day, okay, by, let's just call it mid to late July. Very, very bullish for us, okay? But the other thing we need to see is not just a golden cross. We need to see the 200 curl up as the 50's curling up, okay? We need to see the 50 curl up as the 200's curling up. And really, based upon how price action is developing, if we can get some swift movements in here to the upside, we could expect to see this thing potentially begin to curl up, maybe even by the fall time, not until maybe by September or October, okay? So this is something we really want to keep an eye on. What the hell's up with these 650 days I have slated here? I don't know if anyone remembers this. Well, again, something that would make me say, caution flag on new all-time highs this year. What I've projected out here is in the past. Now, we only have a sample size of 2. Thumbs up if you drop the comments out of the way, the chat out of the way, everyone. You can put a thumbs up, which really helps me out as a content creator. Really appreciate it. So this is one of these things that I look at and I say, okay, this leaves me. It's a caution flag, like I said, and I look at this and I say, this makes me pause and say, Bitcoin may not create a new all-time high this year. Again, maybe it's not until early next year, right? And that is the fact that based on a sample size of 2, when we've had a death cross here, as you can see, and then we've gotten our golden cross on the 3-day, after we've crossed until we topped out, when Bitcoin topped out, here it took 681 days. Here again, we had our death cross. Once we got our golden cross, at the point of this golden cross, until we made our cycle wave 4 top here, in this case it was wave 4 top, wave 3 top, excuse me. When we topped out, we created new all-time high. That's the point, okay? What I'm trying to say is, I hope I'm explaining this well. After a death cross, when we had a golden cross to new all-time high, 681 days, we had a death cross, golden cross, new all-time highs. And it's not just a new all-time high. More specifically, it's when we topped out, okay? In this case, 623 days, 681, 623. So if we really didn't get a golden cross, now that we had our death cross, if we really don't get a golden cross until, say, late July, I've taken the average of these two sample points, these 2 data sample points here. 681 and 623 puts us at about 650. 650 days from this cross puts us all the way out into the spring of 2025. So again, history does not have to repeat. It often rhymes, okay? In this case, again, I've pointed to plenty of charts that support the notion that we will create a new all-time high this year. This is one chart, again, based on a sample size of 2, okay? It's not a lot in statistical terms here. But based on a sample size of 2, this is telling us, no, we may not see a new all-time high until a new all-time high but blow off top until 2025. So something to keep in mind. Now, guys, let's... Ben says, I feel we are going to 28,500 area, back down around 26.4, not ready yet. Well, I mean, what you laid out is certainly possible, but let's remain patient. I will say this, okay? What have I said repeatedly on this channel? Well, I've said a lot of things repeatedly on this channel. I have said that Bitcoin likes to do what most people do not expect. And in that spirit, I will tell you, I was quite surprised. I was quite surprised that we got a correction all the way down here and to basically just below 25,000, but to 25,000. Everyone was calling for a correction down to 25,000. I told you guys, look, everyone's calling for this thing, and that makes me feel like it's just not going to happen. It happened. It happened. What I will say, though, is when we really start to get parabolic and prices are really moving, I just remember I was one of these people. Okay, let me go back to this time here. I was one of the people that when we broke out here, okay, this was in late 2020. When we started to, 20,000. So this was our former all-time high. Just follow me for a moment here. Right around here, okay? When we broke this green candlestick here in December of 2020, okay, I was part of the camp that said, okay, well, we broke the prior all-time high. This was our prior all-time high back here. We broke out right here. We're going to back test more than likely, right? And do you know what that market said to me? CBG, for the love of God, you are the crypto bull god. Fuck retesting 20,000. You should fucking know better. I'm going off into a parabola. And that's exactly what it did. It said fuck you to the rest of the market on what was most probable, and it just fucking took off, okay? At some point, that is going to happen again. It's going to happen again. There will be at least one point where that happens, okay? I guarantee you, whenever Bitcoin does break above 69,000, people are going to be waiting for that back test. Now, I'm not telling you it won't happen, but people are going to wait for that back test. It'll be interesting to see if it ever happens, okay? But there will be points like that where you're going to see the majority of people that are calling for something is just not going to happen. Where did I want to go? XRP, guys. The XRP chart is looking very, 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 very healthy and very sexy, all right? Look at the price indicators. MACD, this is on a weekly, guys. MACD is above zero, okay? We have a positive cross. Momentum looks like it's picking back up. I know we're below the 200. Let's get back above the 200. It even looks like I just saw, okay, that's interesting. I'm going to point out a formation in the chart that I just noticed right now, literally as I'm talking. The RSI, look at this steady increase in the RSI. See the trend line? Look at the steady increase in the stochastic RSI. This chart looks very, very healthy. The other thing I just noticed, do you see what I see? Because I just noticed it right now. This is an inverse head and shoulders. So it'll be interesting to see if we get some sort of a just a rough sketch here. It'd be interesting to see if this plays out and we get some break up towards 88 cents. You know, realistically, actually, I'm going to put a video out in terms of what my expectations are in terms of price appreciation whenever that lawsuit news is dropped. There's a lot of, as you know, I can't stand hype in this space. I will not name channels. I've named them in the past. I cannot stand channels that are doom and gloom. Bitcoin's going to 5,000 or 10,000, and I can't stand the calls that XRP is going to 5,000, okay? I can't stand that stuff. I'm not going to come up here and bullshit you guys to get some views, as you know. So I do plan to put a video out in terms of my expectations on whenever the lawsuit news does drop. Hopefully it's going to drop soon, and whatever reaction we get based off of that. I think getting a video out sooner rather than later would be helpful because I would anticipate that news is going to drop any day now, literally. It wouldn't be surprised if we end the live stream and it comes out. So I see an inverse head and shoulders here, but the bottom line is price indicators look great. We're consolidating just under the 200, just under the 200. Let's get back above 50 cents, and then you can see our areas of resistance here, but this chart is looking very, very sexy. I believe after Bitcoin does top, okay, we get that blow off top, for all the XRP holders, including myself, I finally think that you're going to see XRP break its prior all-time high of, depends what exchange you go to, 330, 350, 354, 383. It depends what exchange you go to. I do believe we're going to break that all-time high, so it'll be interesting to see what price action looks like. Let's take a look at a new token we have not taken a look at. I established a position in this. I love the chart setup. It's an AI play. It's ticker MDT. You can find this on Coinbase. now that Binance US, for the moment, is not available for USD trades. Although, guys, I think, doing this as if you can see my phone, I think you can still purchase USD. Go on here. I think Binance US, like you can go on here. Now you can't deposit USD, but you can, yeah, wow, look at that. So they were supposed to suspend USD trading pairs, but it looks like you can still purchase. So you can transfer crypto to there, sell it, and then still purchase. That's interesting. In any event, I think that's going to get cleared up. I think Binance US will be available for USD trade pairings at some point later this year. Anyway, this is MDT, ticker symbol MDT. I established a position. I'm looking to increase my position if we enter the orange box. Why the orange box? I love the chart setup here. You can see we're in this massive downtrend. We took off sharply, and now we're in this consolidation phase, sort of like a falling wedge as well. But I really love the setup here. So what's up with the orange box? Well, the horizontal green lines represent areas of support and price confluence, roughly at 3.3 cents and 3.1 cents. But you see it dips all the way down here to orange. How did I get that? Fibonacci retracement. If we go from the bottom up to approximately the top of the movement, if I drew it better, it would map up correctly. But you can see it, the 0.786, which is another common fib retracement level, is all the way down here at about 2.6, 2.7 cents. So I have my target zone to accumulate more anywhere between 3.3 and 2.6 cents. I would keep an eye on this. Price indicators, it looks like the stochastic RSI is picking back up on the 3-day. RSI is oversold. MACD has some work to do to curl up, so we'll keep an eye on it. Injective, guys. Again, I know it seems crazy, but you can see this trend line I have. There's a lot of noise on this chart. Let me explain what's going on. This is on the daily. This gray line is a trend line that we've bounced off of. You can see here a few times. You can see we've broken above it, broken below it. The interesting thing is now we've broken below this gray upwards trend line. You can see it acting as resistance. Not only that, but also the moving averages. It's interesting because looking at this chart, now we're getting across in the MACD, stochastic RSI is picking up. I still think it is quite probable there is still a good possibility that you could see injective protocol. What did I say was the bottom area of my price target? 440. I still think 440, we could come all the way down to 440. This thing looks to me still like it could come down to 440. Why? This reminds me of a very similar setup in Chili's. If we take a look at Chili's real quick, let me show you what happened with Chili's. Okay, with all the fear mongering out there, look what it actually did. It didn't even touch the bottom. Well, Chili's is in a broadening wedge slash bull pennant here. And I was going to say that it actually came down to this area here. It never did. It came all the way down to 6.6 cents. But basically, we were hugging this line for a while. We fell further than I and many others thought we were going to. Okay, we were holding 10 cents. We fell 40% below that. There's no reason that injective protocol, despite the narrative, despite the strength, I'm looking at this thing, at the very least $5. I still think if you're looking for an entry on injective, and I'm personally, I'm bullish on the project, I'm bullish on the market structure in the chart, but I'm not buying at these levels. I'm not a buyer at these levels. If we start to get into this zone between 5 and 440, I'm a buyer. 5 to 440, I'm a buyer. Okay, but I'm not buying up in this area. It's too expensive for me, too rich for my blood. So be interesting to see if we pull back there. ACH, Alchemy Pay. Right now, this is on the, looks like we're looking on the daily. We want to start punching up. We're having a nice move today. This is up 8.8%. That is on Huobi. Can never pronounce that right. Huobi exchange. Coinbase, it looks like it's up 8.45%. But you can see on the daily, a couple things going on. We're going to hit resistance at 2.2 cents. We have a cross down with the 20. Let's get that off, though. Let's focus on this, though. I need Alchemy to start expressing some strength and punching up into this area because I don't want a significant death cross here on the daily, right? You can get a minor death cross. You could have those moving averages kiss, the 50 and the 200. but I don't want to start to see a significant cross down on these moving averages. So if we can get some price action to kind of come up like this, this would just kind of come down, kind of kiss it, and then continue moving up. That's what I want to see on Alchemy Pay. I own a rather large stake in Alchemy, and I've tweeted out such that I increased my position. Let's take a look at Synapse. Synapse is also having a very healthy move. I think this thing is due for a large move to the upside. We're going to see if that pans out. Again, I drew a falling wedge, a valid falling wedge. We had a breakout. We re-entered the pattern. As price data continued to develop, we said, hey, or I said, I don't know why I say we. I'm the only person here again. I don't know who else is evaluating these charts with me, but it is just me, myself, and I. We reevaluated the chart data after we've allowed more time to pass and more candlesticks to print. We said, hey, look, we're actually still in a falling wedge. We are literally still in a falling wedge. This is on the 2-day. You can see the MACD's beginning to curl up. Great to see. The RSI picking up a little. Is still oversold. Stochastic RSI looks really good, actually. We're at 63 over 39, which is great to see. I think things on Synapse are going to get interesting once we start to break out above this prior swing high here at about 78 cents. Okay, 77 to 78 cents. I think once we break that area, I think 90 to $1 is going to come very, very quick. 90 all the way up to $1.10, really, is going to come very, very quick. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I also own a decent amount of that. Stargate. I think it's Stargate Financial, or is it just Stargate? Stargate, again, if I wasn't as honestly, if I wasn't as diversified as I was, of course, this one isn't. I also checked. I think it's available on Binance US, but it's not available on Coinbase. This is one that if I wasn't as diversified as I was, I'd probably still establish a position, even though it's not available on Coinbase at the moment. This is a really interesting chart setup. I really like the formation on this one. You have this huge rounding bottom, a huge markup in price, and this is just consolidation. Again, inexperienced individuals, people that don't know what they're doing, they think that price is dying. They don't understand what consolidation is. Consolidation, again, I've said this on this channel, consolidation is not necessarily price moving in a semi-straight line and just doing this. That's not just consolidation. Consolidation can look like this. Consolidation can actually look like that too. Okay, it can work both ways. And so if anybody gets weeded out with this price action, I mean, it just speaks to the level of inexperience they have in reading a chart. But this is really healthy. We've since recaptured this 53 cent, looks like 55 cent area. Never financial advice, but if I had capital to work and I was looking to establish or increase a position, I would be doing it here. I wouldn't be waiting personally. Could we see a move lower? Absolutely. Could we come down, if we break where we're at? If you wanted to be more conservative and you wanted to wait, another area of support I would identify would be right around, let's identify a zone. How about that? 49 cents to 51.5 cents. So anywhere between 51 and 49 cents if you wanted to be 51.5 to 49 cents if you wanted to be a little more conservative. Love the chart setup though. Real quick, and then we're going to get to any questions that you have. We're 33 minutes in, so if you have just a couple charting questions, I can get to them. I want to assess the health of the S&P as well as the NASDAQ. Guys, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What is the orange line, guys? 43.25. How many times have I hit my hand on this desk and hammered on the fact that we need to get above 43.25? And as we start to do that, that's when things are going to start to get really interesting. Our next zone is between 45, looks like 4,580. We're just going to call it 4,600. 4,600 and 45.50. So our next zone, now that we've cleared 43.25 successfully, we've closed above it, it's really going to be between 4,600 and 45.50, but things are looking great. People that don't, I tried to tweet something out earlier today and my phone wasn't cooperating, but the people that, if you guys tuned in on Friday, if you did not catch Friday's live stream, check out Friday's live stream. Very important live stream. I went into great detail on the positive correlation which exists between both the NASDAQ, S&P, and Bitcoin, all three of them. And sometimes they lag, right? Sometimes one front runs the other. It lags the other, right? I see all these people. I got to tell you, I almost feel like one person reports on something and then other people just gravitate to that narrative. It's all this emotional injecture of bullshit. Nobody reads charts. No one looks at data. It's the same thing with the interest rates. Like, everyone listens to the chairman. No one actually looks at 70 years of price data on interest rates and says, now that we've paused, the probability with very high likelihood is that we're going to decrease. That's the next rating action that'll take place. No one looks at data for some reason. They all have these emotional views on shit. So the emotional view, it just pisses me off sometimes. The emotional view is because, you know, the S&P has done this and NASDAQ has done this. We're, by the way, on the NASDAQ, we're entering some significant resistance we need to break above right in this zone between 15,250 and 15,400. That's the next area. It bothers me though when you have morons on TV that have a voice. Like, I have 2,000 subscribers on my channel. I can only reach so many people. You have people on network stations and you have influencers with hundreds of thousands of followers on YouTube spewing bullshit, speaking to this move here and speaking to this move here, and then going back to Bitcoin and saying, oh, it's really diverging from the market and it's showing a lot of weakness. Guys, if you study the charts, you know more than likely what's going to happen is the S&P and NASDAQ are going to take a little bit of a breather. Maybe they go up a little, but they're going to take a little bit of a breather, and Bitcoin and crypto are going to catch up to the price movements of what's going on, okay? Hopefully, you've been paying attention to what I've been saying with that, because again, I never share with you when I speak to price data an emotional opinion. I speak to you factual information that exists in the chart. Whether it plays out or not is another story. There's never, ever, 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 ever 100% certainty in this market. All I do at work when I look at numbers is I assess probabilities, right? I don't know with certainty anything. When I look at a chart, all I can do is calculate a statistical probability, essentially, and just make inferences based on that. That's all you can do, and it just blows my mind when people refuse to look at data and instead they gravitate towards an emotional narrative because that's what feels comfortable. That's what they can make sense of things because they can create a story and a narrative and it makes them feel good inside. Just read the goddamn data. The data tells you what's going to happen. It's not going to tell you what's going to happen with certainty, but it's going to tell you what's going to happen with conviction, with probabilities, which should make you. I am going off right now. We're gonna peel it back a little bit. Nick has a question here. Sometimes I just start to go off. You know, I'm passionate about this shit. I'm passionate about math and numbers, and people just don't get it. And it's always the people with the largest microphones. You know, just pisses me off sometimes. It's like the people that they have the sway and the influence to help so many individuals, and instead they spew bullshit that doesn't make any sense. It really does piss me off. Rio, let's take a look at Rio. Oh, Rio. For any 94 WIP listeners, sports radio, shout out to 94 WIP. Rios. I like violence and I promote it. I like violence. Probably no one knows what I'm talking about. Rios likes violence and he promotes it. It's good. He's a solid caller. He's a very solid caller. Let's take a look at Rio, not Rios. Let's take a look at Poloniex. This is on a 3-day. What else we got? Is there anything else with some more price data here? Is this all we got? I'm not familiar with the project, to be honest. There we go. There we go. What is Rio? Let's take a look together, everybody. I don't know what this project is. I have no idea. Where are we at? We in the 200s, the 300s, the 100s. You're gonna make me feel silly and say this is in the top 100. That's certainly a possibility. No, this is 1,364. Okay, well then, that's probably why I don't know what the hell this thing is. So let's chart it though. Let's have some fun because I've never looked at this chart before, and this is a 3-day. Let's get off the price indicators. Let's just focus on price action. A lot of price data here. I want to focus on the weekly condense everything. It helps me kind of clear. Okay, so we had a nice, so what I would first say, we had a nice rounding bottom, a move up. It looks like we're consolidating. Sort of looks like a cup and handle, to be honest. We have a cup. We have a handle. And now we want to further break up. All right, so let's look at areas of price confluence. If I had to give this thing a formation, looks like a double bottom cup and handle formation. That's the way it looks to me. All right, let's go to support, actually. Let's draw areas of support. Why did Inspector Gadget's music just go through my head? Do you guys ever have random music just go through your head and you can't make sense of it? By the way, real quick, as I'm charting this out for Nick here, I just keep having these reoccurring dreams with my car. I just remembered this right now as I'm talking. I remembered it this morning, and then I forgot about the dream. Let me just share this with you real quick. I had a dream last night, and I got to tell you, last night was one of those nights where I had a shit ton of dreams. I don't know what was going on, what I ate, but I had a lot of dreams last night, a lot of dreams. One of the dreams was really sad, but the other dream with my car was that I left in a parking lot somewhere, and I'm just trying to remember what I can recall from this dream. I left the windows down, and like it had rained, and I went into the car, and I remember taking towels and trying to soak up the water in my car. My car just had so much rain in it, and I got in, and I started up, and like my car wouldn't start up, and I kept turning the ignition, and finally started up, and then it like jerked into gear. Like, I don't know, I have too many dreams about my car. I need to start dreaming about something a little bit more exciting in my life. Let's see here. Although I do love my car, I wouldn't call it unexciting. So these are really zones of resistance, Nick. I would say 11 cents, around 11 cents here. Between 11 and 10 and a half, you could draw this thing down here. Anywhere between 11 and 10 and a half cents. And then all the way down here, if we break 10 and a half cents, you're looking at about 7.9 cents, 7.3, and 6.3. So there's a huge cluster in here, right? Now, if I was scaling into this thing, I would be patient because we could get a correction that looks like this, okay? You could get another leg down here. I would be patient. Could we continue moving up, Nick? Yes, absolutely. But for me, I would be patient here. I would wait for something closer to see if we personally start to begin to break down below 10 cents. You can see we've tapped this area twice. We've tapped 10 cents and 10 cents twice. So if we come down to 10 cents again, chances are, now I'm going to quiz you, Nick, if we come down to 10 cents even again for the third time, is there a higher probability that 10 cents will break or 10 cents will hold if we come down and tap it a third time? The correct answer is it will be weaker, and there's a higher probability that 10 cents will break. So I would be patient here, and if 10 cents does break, I'd be looking somewhere between 7.9 and 6.3 cents. Now, areas of resistance. You bought in at 2 cents. Well, son of a gun. I have a smart audience here. A very smart audience. Good work, brother. Good work. Very nice. And you are correct. The lag in the comments, but you are correct. You got it right. So how about areas of resistance? What are some major areas of resistance? I know there's a wick right there. I mean, you could draw it right there if you wanted to, but yeah, we'll draw it right there because there's actually a wick right there as well. And then it looks like there's another area right here. And you're welcome. Right here. Okay, so how about areas of resistance? It looks like we're going to have some areas of resistance. 16 and a half cents. 41.8 cents. 65.7 cents. I hope you found that helpful. And again, congratulations for getting in at 2 cents. If you got in at 2 cents, again, never financial advice. Do with this what you may. I personally would look at this as follows. I'm up big on this. I've done very well for myself, okay? And what I want to do as an investor is I want to be patient, okay? Could I buy a little bit more right here? Yeah. So I think there's really, if I was playing this and I was up big, if I was in Nick's shoes and I bought at 2 cents, and let's say I had $1,000 to put into this thing, I wanted to increase my position size by $1,000. You know, depending on my risk tolerance level, I would play this one of two ways. Either A, I would just put in half. I would just put in half now and wait on the other half to see if we pull back to 7.9 to 6.3, or I would keep the 1,000, put it on the side, and wait to see if we come back down to 10. Right? There's no worst case scenario. There's no bad case scenario here. You're already up big. Now it's about being patient and exercising discipline, and having some sort of a knowing what your risk appetite is. Do you want to be a little bit more aggressive, throw half in now, or do you want to be a little bit more conservative, which I tend to be, and just wait it out a little bit and see how we interact with 10 cents again? You're welcome. Guys, I think that is meeting adjourned. Try to think about what to provide tomorrow, what would be most helpful forever. Oh, before everyone tunes out, I almost forgot. Give this guy a follow if you're not already. This is Kramer Coin, okay? Not Jim Cramer. He puts out a lot of hysterical videos. I want to watch one video with you real quick that I found entertaining. Let's take a peek at this real quick and watch this if you haven't seen this already.
Because the Bitcoin bubble, when it got up to 70,000, a lot of people put laser beams on their eyes. They're probably going to die with those laser beams on their eyes because the Bitcoin bubble has popped.
Sometimes I call it crypto crabbo, and sometimes I call it crypto shit.
Why do you think it's been so resilient here in the high 16s?
Well, I'll tell you what starts this. Because it's phony and a scam, being propped up by people who need it propped up, and that's all there is. Very harsh.
And microsecond, whoop, like that.
Whether it be Bitcoin, whether it be Ethereum, whether it be Solana, anything crypto, I think.
Cardano?
Sell.
That was January 19th, guys.
And I would sell my Bitcoin right into this rally.
Microsecond, whoop, like that.
I had been a believer one time in Bitcoin. I prefer crypto to gold. Wow. He didn't really say that, did he? Yes. Not here, not now.
I just find that fucking hysterical. Anytime you have seen Jim Cramer come on and pound his fist to sell Bitcoin, Peter Schiff is, Peter Schiff is always trolling Bitcoin. You just do the opposite. Again, if you've been here long enough, like you find this entertaining, you've seen all this stuff before. I'm so thankful that for myself that I have remained patient in this market, despite all the things I have learned. I've taken some hits. I have battle scars. I've learned from it. And I've been in this market for a while now at this point, and I'm glad for that. I'm glad for my conviction personally because it's benefiting me, and I hope it benefits you guys as well. So, and you'll continue to come back each and every day, and you find the content helpful. So with that being said, if you appreciate the content, make sure to share it with at least one person. And until next time, spread awareness, and let's all inverse Kramer and carry the education forward. Take care, everybody. It's good to see everyone.